Bow. Pew, pew. All right, so I'm in a completely, blank project file. Make sure you have one open. If you don't have one open, then you suck. Open one right now. So we start our GUI, right? And again, depending on whatever GUI you have, I'll just add a frame, right? For the sake of the tutorial, just a basic frame. I'm not even gonna scale it. I'll just make it about this big, right? Like so. And so what I want to do, my goal of this video is I want to add a gradient to this frame, and then I want to, use tween service and everything and make the gradient just keep on like rotating, right? So it's going to keep on rotating just eternally, basically, right? Now, first we actually need to add a gradient, right? So I'm going to add a UI gradient. And you don't have to use a gradient. So in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to tween literally anything about UI, right? Just I'll use a gradient as an example, and then I'll show you like how you can apply the same, strategy to anything else. And then for the gradients, click on these little like 3 dots, and then I'll just, I don't even know. It's a nice little minty color. Let's go for that. The one thing which I keep hearing about like tweening stuff, especially tweening GUI for some reason, is that people find it really difficult, right? And the reason they find it really difficult is because they feel like there's a lot of steps that are involved in, tweening, especially in tweening GUI. The very first thing I want to show you is actually what tweening is, right? So if you already know, tween service, tween info, properties, stuff like that, feel free to, skip a little bit to like the middle of the video. But if you don't know, I'm going to show you a quick example. So I'm just going to disable the screen GUI right now. And I'm going to create a part, right? So I'll make a part over here. And then inside of the part, I'm going to add a script. The very first thing we want to do, let's say I want to tween the transparency of this part, right? So I want to make a tween so that like the moment I start the game, like in 10 seconds, it's going to go from, like fully visible to like almost fully invisible, right? So like, yeah, 10 seconds, make it go from like 0 transparency to 0.8 transparency, right? So that's our goal. So the very first thing we do, the way we access tweens is we get the tween service. So I'm going to make a variable for this. I'll just say local ts, for tween service is equal to game : get service tween service. Now you don't have to actually make this a variable. So you could just do game get service tween service, and then you could do : create, and then that'll create a tween. But then I just like, having a variable for the tween service because I don't want to keep retyping this over and over again, right? Then we want to actually create like the tween service. I mean, we want to create a tween using the tween service. So I'll just say local tween is equal to tween service : create. And then as you can see, it needs 3 things. The first thing is it needs an instance. So it needs like what we're actually changing, which right now is the part. Then it needs a tween info, and then it needs a table, which is going to have the name of the property we want to change. So in this case, being a transparency, and then we make that property equal to what we want it to be after the tween finishes. So I'll do a create, and don't worry if that didn't make much sense. I'll show you everything, right? So again, the first thing we need is the actual instance, which is the part. So I can do script.parent, right? Then we need a tween info. And the way you create a tween info is you just type tween info, like so, and then .new. Now, tween infos, they take, many parameters. They take the time, then the easing style, then the easing direction, then whether it repeats or not, like, how many times it repeats. If this is -1, then it's going to keep repeating forever. And then whether it reverses. So when it hits like hits the goal, does it go back to the initial? And then delay time is just like I'm pretty sure it's just like the delay time between the tweens, right? However, you don't have to have all of these, right? So we could only have the time, right? They just have to be in order. So I can't only have the easing style, but not the time. It has to be the time first. Then if I wanted to, I could put the easing style. Then if I wanted to, I could put the easing direction, right? So for the sake of right now, let's just put the time. And the time is going to be 10, right? So 10 seconds. And then we want to actually tell it what we want to change about script.parent, which is the part. And we want to change the transparency. So I'm going to make a table with curly brackets like this. And then we need to put in the name of the property and then set it equal to what we want it to be. So the name of the property is transparency. So I'll say transparency and make it equal to, what did we have? It was like 0.8, right? Yes, let's say 0.75. 0.75. So what we're saying here is we're creating a tween that's going to change something about the script.parent, which is the part. We're giving it like the like all the info about the tween, where like configuring like the time, and then if you have anything, the easing style, easing direction, stuff like that. And then we're saying what we actually want to change about our instance, and then what like the value that we're actually setting it to. And the last thing we need to do is we take the tween and we just do a colon play. So this creates the tween and then this plays it. So if I just run the game, so I don't want to play and like log, it's like have my character in the game and everything. I'm just gonna run the game. So it's gonna run all of the script. And as you can see, the tween is doing its thing. And I think that's it. Yeah, wonderful. So we just went to 0.75, I think. Yeah, 0.75 transparency in 10 seconds. So that's basically what a tween is, right? In short. So I'll delete this. Actually, no, I'll copy the script, right? So I'll copy the script like this, actually. I'll copy the lines of the script. And then I'll delete the part. And now let's go back to our like a frame with the gradient, right? So you literally like we can do the same thing with the frame, right? But here, what we're doing here is we want to change the UI gradient and we want to change its rotation, right? Because look, you can kind of like rotate it around like this, right? You can see like a slight little rotation change. So by default, it is at 0, right? So we want to put probably like a local script, because if it's GUI, it has to be a local script, right? And then yeah, inside a local script, I'm just gonna copy these lines. So we get tween service, we create a tween for script.parent. This is going to be our tween info. And then instead of transparency, which actually, funny enough, this would work because UI gradient does have a transparency, right? So if I were to play the game, if I run the game, do we see the GUI? Let's see. Okay. I don't think it works if we run the game. I think it only works if we play the game. Let's see. There is an error. Transparency cannot be tweened to a mismatch. Oh, I see. Okay. So, for UI gradients are weird because the transparency isn't a number value, but like this thing, right? So, okay, let's not worry about it. Let's just focus on the rotation, which is a number. So I'll say rotation. And then we're going to make it equal to, right now it's at 0. And then let's say we want to make it go a full circle. So I'll do 360, right? And now if I hit play, or actually no, if I run the game right now, is it rotating? Okay, you know what? Let's play the game. Okay, final one. Let's see. Yep, there we go. As you can see, it's rotating. And the tween is done. So it just did a full 360 around. That's amazing, right? And so, okay, so now what I want to do is, we said we wanted to make it like rotate fully, right? So we're going to make it rotate and then keep on rotating forever. And the way we do this is we need to add a thing to the tween info, which is repeat count. So if we set repeat count to be -1, then it's going to keep on repeating forever. But of course, to make the repeat count -1, we'll need to add all of the like things that are in between the time and the repeat count, which is the easing style and the easing direction. So first we need an easing style, right? Again, this isn't really that important. I'll just say enum easing style dot you can play around with these. It kind of explains to you what it is. I'll just do linear, moves at a constant speed, right? Simple. Then we need an easing direction, which is an enum easing direction. And enum, by the way, it kind of like represents a value, right? So it's like a value of easing direction. So you can think of it like that, right? It could be in, so it's applied in a forward direction, out direction, or in and out. Because we're moving in a straight line with linear, it doesn't matter, because no matter if we're going forward or backward, it's a straight line, right? So it's going to be the same thing. So I'll just do in, and that's when we get to the repeat count, which is going to be -1, because we want it to keep on repeating forever. And I'll just set this to like 5, just so we see the change occur faster, right? So now if I run the game, let's see, we see it kind of go up. And there we go. Wonderful. So as you can see, it keeps on rotating. That actually looks very, very nice. I really like that. So yeah, that's how you would change the rotation, right? But then what if we also wanted to change maybe, let's say, the size of it? We want to make it, slightly bigger, and then maybe make it slightly smaller as well, right? We could do this as well. So I could make another local script, and then I could place it inside of, you know what? Actually, no, it's fine. We can do this all in one script, right? So, we'll have a frame here. And then what we want to change about the frame is the size, right? Which actually here I'm going to scale. I'm going to say x is 0.4 comma 0, 0.4 comma 0. If you don't know what this means, scaling basically means like it moves with the screen, right? So before it was just at a set size. Now it actually like scales along with the screen. So we're going to set it to be like here, right? Like so. We can make the scale to like 0.5. Sure, let's do that. 0.5, 0.5. Beautiful. So what I want to do is I want to tween it so that the size goes from 0.5, 0.5 to 0.6, 0.6, and then goes back to 0.5, right? So I want to make it like slightly bigger. So inside the local script, what I'll do is, so I create my first tween, and then I'm going to create my second tween, which I'll call local tween 2, which is going to be equal to tween service create. And because we're changing the frame, it's going to be script.parent.parent. So script.parent.parent.parent.parent. There we go. Oh man, Roblox should fix the Actually, no, not Roblox. I'm blaming Roblox, but I gotta blame myself. Always take accountability. I don't know what I just said. Then we need the tween info.new, which, let's say I wanna have it like balanced kind of. So I want it to be quick. So let's say 1 second, right? The easing style, I want it to be, there's one which is like it slightly overshoots, so it goes like a little more than you gave it, and then it goes back to create like a little like almost like slingshot effect, right? So like I'll actually do back, and then the easing direction is gonna be forward, so in. Repeat count is gonna be -1 because we want it to repeat. And I do want it to reverse, right? So I do want it to, when it goes bigger, I want it to go back, right? So I'll set reverse to true. And that's, yeah, we don't need delay time, right? And then what I'll do is, we just need a property table. So I'll just say, I'll make a table, and then I'll say size. It's called size, right? Yeah, size. And then this size has 4 numbers. It has the X scale and offset and Y scale and offset. And the way we actually set the size is we make a udim2. And what a udim2 is, this code is getting too long. You know what I'll do? I'm going to take this tween info. I'll just make it into a variable. Local tween info 2, because it's for tween 2. Like so. So you can make variables tween infos, right? And then I can just say tween info 2. Which I can actually do for tween 1 as well. So I could copy this. And then I could make a variable here called local tween info, and then make it equal to the first tween info, and then just here put tween info, like so. So yeah, we have tween info, and then tween info 2. Awesome, yeah, so that's much more readable. So we're gonna make the size, and we wanna set it to 0.6 X scale and 0.6 Y scale. So udim2.new, so we're gonna make it set to 0.6 X scale, no offset, we don't want any offset, then 0.6 on the Y scale, and then once again, 0 offset. And then we play the first tween, and then we play the second tween as well. And by the way, tween 2. Yeah. And by the way, when you're playing these, there's no delay, right? So it doesn't like play the tween, and then it doesn't like wait for this tween to finishes. It plays the tween, and then just immediately goes to the next line of code. So it doesn't wait for the tween to finish or anything. If you wanted to wait for the tween to finish, you could do something like tween dot completed. So an event will fire when the tween is fully done, which here it cannot be finished because we set the repeat count to -1, meaning that it's going to keep on going forever, right? So this will never fire. But if, let's say, this wasn't like forever, if we actually had like a time, like if this wasn't -1, if this was just 0, so it just does once and it doesn't repeat again, then this would fire tween not completed. And from there you could either connect it to a function, so you could say like, okay, when the tween is completed, do something, or you could just say wait. So then this will just halt the code until the tween is completed, right? So I'll set this back to -1. And so yeah, so we're playing the first tween and we're playing the second tween. So if I play the game right now, let's see what happens. Wonderful. As you can see, it's doing the little bounce thing, right? So it's like overshooting and then it kind of goes back, right? Boom. Like that. Boom. And the gradient is actually moving along with it, right? So both of these are playing at the same time. That's basically, I guess, all there is for you to know about tweening GUI. And actually, I guess there's one more thing. A lot of the GUI tweening that I see tend to have something where it like pops up from the bottom, right? So like you click on a button and then like for somewhere just from the bottom it like kind of pops up like this, right? The way you would do this is, well, number one, like you want to change the position. So if you want to make it go up, then you want to change the position property, right? And the position property of GUI is over here, right? And I believe the position is also a udim because it has two values, right? So let's say instead of changing the size, I could just change the position like this. And I have no idea what actually is going to happen. Yep, there we go. Bow. So what you could do is you could just like have this GUI, and then just by default you could just drag it like to the bottom of the screen, so it's not visible, and then you could just have a tween, which when you click the button, it just runs an animation where like it moves this up to the middle of the screen, and then when you close it, you can run another tween, which is just gonna move it back to where it was just hidden, right? And yeah, so that's basically all there is to know about tweens and everything. The tweening GUI, right? Or actually no, tweening anything, I guess, because this isn't just for GUI. You can use this tween to tween, like I showed you before. You could tween a part. You could tween literally any property of anything, right? I could, if I wanted to, I could add a point light, right? Like so. I could add a point light to the spawn location, and I could make the brightness very like a lot. And then I could add a script inside the point light. Like I could tween the point light's brightness, right? I could tween the range, right? Like so. So I could do this. I could tween the I think the color as well, actually. Yeah, I could tween the color, right, by changing these numbers, right? So you can tween literally basically like anything you want. So that's the power of tweening. And yeah, hopefully this makes sense. If this still doesn't, I know, listen, when I started developing GUI, it's confusing, right? It's a mess. Feel free to leave a comment and, I'll let you know. If you like the way I teach, go to my comments and please give me your email, right? I promise it's not like a malicious link. You just give me your email, and then every now and then I'll send you like emails with like, helpful like lessons and advice, and sometimes like cool assets, for Roblox development. So, if that's interesting, go check it out. And yeah, I'm gonna delete the screen GUI, and we're back to basics. Thank you for watching.